All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Battleborn podcast. And obviously, as you guys have heard there, gotta start off the show by first. I'm sure everybody has, everyone's aware by now, but we have to, start the show by acknowledging the, unfortunate passing recently of DMX, who was, he was one of my favorite rappers of all time, man. He was one of those guys that was up there for me, man. And finding out that he unfortunately passed away, it hurt. You know what I mean? That one hit home, man. You know what I mean? Because I think, honestly, man, I feel like it hurts a little more just because, you kind of seen over the last couple of years that, DMX was, struggling and going through, what he was going through. And, he was just on this path, man, you know what I mean? To just, end up, with just like the way things happen, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard that, we were all here having to watch him just kind of spiral, out of control. And, unfortunately, like I said, I'm sure most of you guys are aware, about a week ago, DMX unfortunately suffered from a drug overdose. I'm not sure if they reported what he overdosed on. I mean, it doesn't really matter at this point, not to me anyway. You know what I mean? It's just, he overdosed. He OD'd and he was in the hospital for a whole number of days. And it was real touch and go. A bunch of reports were coming out that he was on life support or he was breathing on his own, or if he wasn't. And you know how it gets with the rumor mill, man. Which I also have to bring up. There was early initial reporting before he actually passed that he had passed, and there was this whole thing where his family and his manager and all his people had to come out and clear it up and say, like, hey, he's still alive, he hasn't passed away. You guys just know how it is with media now, man. It's just this whole rush to be the first, you know what I mean? To break the story and be the exclusive. Everybody wants to be that first instead of being right, which is, a big problem with what's wrong with the media in general today. I mean, it's just like no integrity in the reporting. It's just like how I said, everyone just wants to be first and damn the facts. As long as we put the story out there first, we're the ones breaking it, and we're getting the the clickbait for it. So those initial reports came out and saying DMX passed away. There was a whole confusion. They had to come out and clarify that he was still alive at the time. And then unfortunately about a day or two later, it was confirmed that he did in fact pass away as a result of the drug overdose. He was there was a lot of reporting that he was in a vegetative state. I don't know all the facts, all the details. I try not to get too sucked into those kind of stories. I mean, I just try to get the kind of general details about it, and then like I said, unfortunately DMX passed away. So just starting off the show, it's only right that we give tribute to DMX, Dark Man X, long live the X forever. And rest in peace. And obviously thoughts go out to all of his family, his friends, his kids, all his fans, like myself, who just enjoyed DMX's music for a bunch of years. And like I said, he was one of my favorite rappers, man. You know what I mean? Not the favorite rapper of all time, obviously. Well, maybe he was to some of you guys, but for me, I mean, he wasn't like my top favorite rapper of all time. Just keep it real. But DMX is up there, man. He's up there on my top high lists of best rappers, man. He created a sound all of his own, and he was so unique with his voice and his music. I mean, just such a powerful voice, you know what I mean? DMX, it feels like when he came out, he kind of started something new, you know what I mean? When he kind of really burst on, around that late 90s era and into the early 2000s. And, man, just, I'm glad that I got to enjoy his music, you know what I mean? And, I'm sorry that he wasn't able to, get the help that he needed. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people try to help him, but, at the end of the day, you can only help somebody so much, you know what I mean? People also want to be helped, you know what I mean? They gotta want to change and get better. And I mean, I'm not saying that I knew whether or not DMX did or didn't. I mean, I'm sure I've seen a whole bunch of interviews, since his passing since, one in particular where, they asked him about, a bunch of his drug problems, and he said something like, it's something I struggle with every day. Even if you stop doing drugs, it's not like you beat the disease. You know what I mean? It's like you have to keep dealing with that on a daily basis. It's a constant struggle every single day. Every day you wake up, man, it's an ongoing battle. You know what I mean? When you're plagued with, drug addiction. So, unfortunately for DMX, he succumbed to his disease of drug addiction, and it's just really unfortunate, man. But I will say, man, the outpouring, man, of just support that I've seen, like when celebrities die, there's always that sleuth of, that percentage of people that are going to come out and try to slander his name and, say whatever they can negative about the guy, you know what I mean? When obviously he's no longer here to defend himself. But, for the most part, man, I don't think I saw any commentary from anyone on the internet or otherwise, in a negative light on DMX. I mean, obviously, having to talk about, his battle with drug addiction, which is obviously a negative thing, but man, there was just an outpouring of support and love, sent to DMX. I mean, it goes to show, I mean, like, not just, I mean, famous people and not, you know what I mean? Just everybody, man, had, it felt like everybody wanted to, or had something loving to say about DMX. So I think it really goes to show you, how many lives he really touched and affected throughout his life and career. So again, man, like I don't want to ramble too long, but rest in peace to DMX. Thank you for all those years of that great music. We kicked off the show here with some DMX, for all of the listeners to listen to one of my favorite DMX's, one of my favorite DMX tracks right there. That one's definitely in my playlist, just like a lot of you guys, I'm sure, man, I've been playing a lot of DMX, just kind of going back, just reminiscing and, just kind of rehearing all that music. And, man, it's just, it's a crazy thing, man. It really is. And, he's one of those guys. I think he's going to be really missed for a long time. But I believe it was Busta Rhymes. It might have been like Swiss Beats or Busta Rhymes. One of these two guys. They posted something like, my only comfort is knowing that, now the guy he's back home and he's in peace, and now he can just concentrate on that, just being at peace and being in eternity, and you know what I mean, until we all join him, in the afterlife, man. It's just a big rest in peace, sending a lot of love and thoughts to DMX, and just everyone out there who has been thinking about him, since his untimely passing. 50 years old, man, which it's crazy. 50 is that crazy point in life where you start considering 50 like old age, you know what I mean? But in terms of death, man, it's still so young, you know what I mean? Because at 50, man, you still got a few decades to go, you know what I mean? Or I'm assuming that he would have had he not, had the OD. And unfortunately, man, we'll never really know what this stage of his life could have been or would have been, whether that have been in terms of, maybe doing more acting in movies or, more music, more albums. I mean, who knows? I mean, DMX was one of those guys that I'm sure could have still done it. So, unfortunately, I'm assuming that, there's probably going to be some, new releases coming out, like, what's the word, posthumously? Did I say that right? I can't say that word, but, since he passed, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of, new, features coming out with DMX on it. Everyone's going to want a DMX feature now, because it's going to be, the last time to get it. But, I mean, unfortunately, he's not going to be around to like make more music or movies, or we'll never really know, what this next stage of his life could have been, like I said. So, it's just, one of those things. So we're just going to, send our tribute here from the podcast to DMX, and just send out again, man, a big time rest in peace. And, you're back home, and, you know what I mean? Hopefully that, all your loved ones and family that are still, remaining amongst us will be taken care of, from now into the future.